The law of change. The second universal law of success is the universal law of change. Quote Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but yet he who is transformed by the renewing of your mind. End quote. Quote, be not conformed to this world, quote, means that you are not locked into whatever circumstances, situations, associations, challenges, and so on that exists in your life right now. You do not have to remain in your present condition. Quote, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, end quote, means that you can be changed or transformed from your present conditions by putting a new thought, a new state of consciousness into your mind. In other words, you can change your life from whatever it is right now to this world to anything you want it to be by changing your thinking, your frame of reference about yourself. Taking the first and second universal law of success together. The first law says that your experience of life depends on your thinking. The second law provides that the life you are experiencing right now can be changed by changing your thinking. Some people seem to be successful in whatever they do. It doesn't seem to matter which political party is in charge or how the economy as a whole is doing. Because they keep their thinking centered on the positive aspects of the results they wish to accomplish, they get those results no matter what. The universal law of change has three fundamental aspects: faith, choice, and desire. The first aspect of the universal law of change is faith. Faith is determined as a firm belief or trust in something or someone, generally for which there is no objective proof. It is a belief from which all doubt has been removed. The Bible defines of faith, making it very clear. Quote, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. End quote. Hebrews 11:1. In order to bring about change in your life, you must have faith that such change is possible. No matter how negative your situation, how absolutely overwhelming it is, and it may appear to be, if you have faith that things will get better, that there is something better for you in this life, then you have taken the first steps towards finding it. If you have doubts that your life can change for the better, then you're right. It can. You must know, believe, and have total faith that you are the creation that God conscious, endowed with certain inalienable rights to be healthy, happy, and totally fulfilled. The second aspect of the universal law of change is choice. Quote, choose this day whom you will serve. End quote. Joshua 24:15. Every opportunity, every challenge that we experience confronts us with a choice. We choose either a positive approach, flowers, or a negative approach, weeds. Even if we make no affirmative choice at all, an approach is selected by the world mind, which in this cycle is generally negative. In order for you to change your life for the better, you must affirmatively identify and specifically define what a better life means for you. And you must choose to pursue this better life you have defined for yourself and make the changes in your thinking and acting that will bring it about. An example of this principle is described in the parable of the prodigal son, Luke 15:11-32. To loosely summarize this parable, the youngest son of a rich man asked his father for his piece of the rock. His father gave him his share, and the young man went out into the world and parted his fortune away. Once he was broke. Times got very tough, and he suffered and hungered. In final desperation, he finally got a job feeding someone else's pigs. Even though he had a job, he still suffered and hungered, to the point that he was on seriously thinking of eating whatever the hogs didn't want. He had hit rock bottom, with no plan to escape, and no one would bail him out or help him. But in the verse 17, it states, quote, "And when he came to himself, he said, 'How many of my father's hired servants have bread enough to spare, and I perish with hunger?'" End quote. The prodigal son renewed his mind, thought a new thought about himself. Though he was in the pigeon of life, suffering and hungry, he was still the son of a rich father. Then he made his choice. He chose to serve his father, positive, rather than serve the owner of the pigs, negative. Verse 18 states, quote, "I will arise and go to my father," end quote, and beg for a job doing anything. He then took action pursuing his choice. Verse 20, quote, "And he arose and came to his father," end quote. He begged for a job, but his father wouldn't hear it. His father treated the prodigal son like who he really was, a long-lost son of a powerful father, not a servant. Because the prodigal son had chosen to return home and serve his father joyfully received him. His son, quote, "who was dead," end quote, is now alive again. He had the prodigal son made another choice, he would have gotten a different result. The third aspect to the universal law of change is desire. The key ingredient for change is desire, burning desire. Unless there is a deep hunger, a burning desire for the changes you want to bring about in your life, these changes will not happen. Once upon a time, in a place not far away, a diligent student questioned his master teacher on the meaning of deep desire. The teacher took the eager student down to the ocean and walked him out into the water until it was nearly chest high. He then took the student and held his head underwater for almost a minute. As the student began to struggle, craving for air, the teacher continued to hold him firmly under the water until the young student's body came limp. Then, within seconds of drowning the student, the teacher pulled his head out of the water as he gasped for life, saving his breath of air. The teacher then said, "You must desire the change in your life as strongly as you wanted to take that first breath. That is deep desire. If your life is not the way you want it to be, then know that you can do better. Choose a positive, empowering approach to do better. Desire this change in your life so badly that nothing and no one can stop you from achieving it. And it will happen. You will have the better life you are seeking. If it is that easy, why are those not more successful people in the world? What is it that keeps people from making the changes in their life, that keeps the people from making the changes in their life that they know must be made in order to become the person they would like to be and experience the better life they are seeking? Reverend Ike quote says, "You can be what you want to be. Do what you want to do. Have what you want to have." End quote.